Big smiles, everybody. Right into the elevator, right this way. Straight lines across, shoulder to shoulder, facing out towards Daniel. As John has mentioned, I'll be your power plant tour guide. And right now, this elevator and the one behind us will be descending 537 feet into the heart of Black Canyon. It's about a 54-story building. Traveling at just around 6 miles an hour. Smooth, easy elevator ride right now. It'll take us about 70 seconds to make our destination. First stop, we're going to go into one of the original diversion tunnels from construction. The second stop is the generator room, talk about power generation on Nevada side. Now, after the first stop, we're going to make our way back into these elevators, go up 33 feet, and we're going to walk into the power plant generator room, where I'll discuss about power generation. Now, you will notice, you will feel pressures. We're descending in elevation. Yawn, swallow, chew some gum if you're chewing gum. But please don't Chevy Chase it in the tunnel. If you've seen the movie Vegas Vacation, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, so don't plug any holes. The water you see running is natural spring water. It is seeping. It is not leaking. We don't like that word here in Hoover Dam. Got a phone or camera. Take all the damn pictures. Lock that up. All right, follow me right this way. Right on over here.
Look, we just saw them, how they made them.
She would have been like, fuck all this. Okay, watch your step, baby, okay? Because there's stairs. Okay, watch your step.
What do you guys think?
Get a cop, a little bit of coffee, real quick. No, just a few guys.
The water seeps through. It's rock over water.
Wow. These are the pipelines, right? These are the pipelines, right?
Yeah. That's massive.
That is just, I mean, the width of it. My goodness.
What's a circle?
Started right now, folks. We are currently standing inside a 50-foot diameter diversion tunnel. 50 feet in diameter. You'll see these labeled. These are the diversion tunnels. Nevada side, Arizona side is over here. We're on the Nevada side of the Black Canyon. Inner tunnel, which is this one right over here. That's where we are. Now, before they could start construction, they needed to figure out a way to move the Colorado River source away from the construction site. So they created and blasted out these 4 diversion tunnels, 2 on each side, 56 feet in diameter and approximately 4,000 feet long, all the way around. The 4 tunnels took 19 months to complete, and then lined it up with 3 feet of concrete all the way around to make them 50 feet in diameter. Now, cofferdams. That was the next phase into the construction and forcing the Colorado River through those tunnels, since these tunnels were built 12 feet from the main original river source. So all of the rock and debris taken from these tunnels would be used to create this cofferdam. 98-foot tall upper dam, and so that was able to force it through, and a 66-foot lower dam built to prevent water from backfilling into the site. With the 2 dams in place, we have the directly space now. Cleared out, excavated to reach a solid foundation, and it was finally time to build the dam. The first bucket of concrete here, delivered by a cable-weight crane that the 6 companies created. They actually made 9 cable-weight crane systems, but some of them were stationary, some of them moved on tracks. And delivering that first bucket on June 6, 1933, that first pour was placed carrying 8 cubic yards or 16 tons of concrete. After that first bucket, the next one would come in, the next 78 seconds to deliver, and they would do that for every 78 seconds, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 3 8-hour shifts nonstop for almost 1 week shy of 2 years. Yes, the only 2 days off they had a year was Christmas and Independence Day, and it was optional. Yeah, so you can come into work that day if you wanted to overtime, but if you called out, you got sick, you didn't show up to work, for any reason you didn't show up to work, your scheduled work day, you were fired. But, because back in the day, there was no Social Security. You could actually reapply again using a different name. Yes, that's how you got back to work. And some actually were pretty smart and actually had two identities, so that way after one shift was done, you do the next shift. Yes,
Wow.
so work two 8-hour shifts. Don't know why you wouldn't want to do that, especially in a place we call the desert here. Now, the first thing after they finished the dam was to start the creation of the lake. In order to do that and to create the lake, we got to close off the tunnels. 3 million pound steel doors closing off the entrance of the tunnels. They only shut down these 3 here, and then after that they added these plugs, 125-foot concrete diversion tunnel plugs. So these 3 are closed off. This one remains open temporarily. They got to deliver that water downstream for California. Once the lake was high enough to reach these 4 intake towers behind the Hoover Dam, that's when they finally closed the last tunnel, destroyed, blasted out the lower cofferdam. The upper cofferdam still remains underwater to this day. The engineers decided we don't want to waste any time, money, or the resources on destroying this, so let's just let the water fill over the top. That's what they did, essentially. Now, the water flows in through these 4 intakes through large pipes. These are called penstock pipes, 30-foot diameter, boiler, steel plate pipes, straight 1/4 inch steel plate pipes. Looking out the window on this side, you get a really good view of the penstocks. Essentially, standing on top of them, you can feel some movement underneath your feet. Water flows through this pipe and travel up to 96,000 gallons of water per second. So yeah, it's a lot of water flowing through. That's enough water essential to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool in under 7 seconds. Yeah, so that's a lot of water. But after that, you got smaller pipes branching off, leading down to the generator's turbine. You can see the pipes are 13-foot diameter penstocks, narrowed down to an 8-foot diameter pipe. The water is going to reach top speed anywhere from 48 to 50 miles an hour. That's going to hit the generator's turbine. From there, the water exits out back to the root source. Lastly, spillways. 2 emergency overflows. Spillways are built for flood control. Emergency use only. We never want to use them. Twice ever in history, 1941 was the first test, and that was it. After the first test, they didn't want to ever use them again because it did erode out the concrete of the original tunnel, so they had to repair it. Second time they actually had to use it, 1983 flood event. Snowpack levels were very high, very great the winter before. All the lakes are 100% capacity. So what happens? El Nino year comes in, July and August. Rain, storms came in, melting the snow very rapidly. Traveling downstream fills up the lake an extra 4 feet from the top of the dam. And so water is going over the spillways around the dam for 63 consecutive days nonstop. This is why we never want the lakes at 100% capacity. That's our flood stage levels. And with that major water surge coming in, yeah, that's definitely not where we want to be. So folks, that's going to conclude this portion of the tour. Our next location, the generator room. Follow me, stay on the right. There's another group coming already, so follow me right this way, everybody. Okay, this time, yeah, that was me. Okay.
All right, folks, 32 feet in 6 seconds. Here we go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's it take to impress you guys? Follow me.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's a stone usually. Yeah, I know. Wow, look at this platform they built. Huge.
top 30 feet of it. Lower 40 feet is below the floor, that is our shaft gallery. But towards the bottom of that steel shaft, connected sits around that red burgundy colored drum. When in operation, that generator is going to spin, it's going to produce 130 megawatts of power. But it'll be spinning at 180 revolutions per minute or 3 per second. So 130 megawatts, that's a lot of power. It's enough, in fact, to provide for at least 65,000 homes. But if you combine all 17 of these generators running simultaneously, that would be 2,080 megawatts altogether. Right now, you're going to notice that we have 2 generators running, the 5th generator in line and the 6th generator in line, Nevada 5 and Nevada 6. Based on water needs and demand downstream that we deliver, dictate how many generators can run at this particular moment in time. We can run all the generators, but we're not going to sacrifice all of this water just to produce power. That's not why we're here, even though it does help pay the bills. But our main reason why we're here is to store the water, prevent the floods and droughts downstream to Southern California, irrigation, agriculture purposes, but also we save the water from evaporation. So that's why we deliver this much throughout the day. Later, by 6 o'clock, 6:30-ish, that's when all the generators are 100% in operation. They send all that water downstream. At the same time, they're producing more power. So that's kind of how this whole system works here in relation to water. Now, right above me and some of us here, we have this green P&H bridge crane. We got this first one proudly displays the American flag. Second bridge crane further down the hallway. These 2 cranes will travel the entire length of this room on tracks for maintenance. Each of these cranes have a lift capacity of 300 tons. Now essentially one crane alone can lift Lady Liberty, not the one in Vegas, the real one. She weighs 225 tons, so very easily one crane can do it, can lift her up. But one crane alone is not going to be capable of lifting our heaviest object here. And what's going to be heavier than that? It's heavier than the Statue of Liberty. Well, it's this object right here bolted down to the floor. Right in front of you, that is one of the rotors to unit N3, also Nevada 3. So if you look at the 3rd generator in this line, you will not see it. At least the blue top of it you won't see, but you will see the red drum if you're standing over on that side. You get a better view of generator 3's inside. Now, this, to get it out of the generator, you need both of these cranes working together. And 2 of these cranes combined, of course, they're 300 tons each. That will create a 600-ton super crane to lift the 580 to 600-ton rotor. So that's how they get this rotor out in the first place. It takes about over half a day just to get that rotor moved across and placed down to the floor where it sits right now. It'll take just about the same amount of time to get it back into the generator. Now, taking a look over here to my right, facing this large concrete wall back over here, you're now looking at the direction of Lake Mead. Between us and the lake is Hoover Dam. Hoover Dam stands 726 feet tall. Top of its roadway is 45 feet. From here, you have to go through 450 feet of this concrete to reach the waters of Lake Mead. Then swim up roughly 400 feet to reach the surface. That's how far underwater we are. Now 200 feet below us, down to the base of the dam, 660 feet thick. Now take a look at the length of this building, the Nevada Powerhouse wing. From that wall right here to that far wall over at the end of this room, that was almost 2 American football fields from end to end, but add 10 more feet to that, that would be the thickness of the base of the dam. 2 American full-size football fields. So that is pretty much it, folks, for my presentation of the tour. I'm going to hang up the mic. Follow me as soon as I get to the doorway. Follow me out. We're going to stay on the left side. Thank you.
She was looking at this as
Okay.
You're like, oh, this sounds familiar.
you're sitting there.
Great.
Sorry.
The light on.